Hello and welcome to What If Civilization Started Over Episode 1. The other ones have been cancelled. So let's just get started. We're gonna see a new layer being made if I duplicate this and click on that and delete. And that layer is going to be tribal. So these are all the tribes. So the first tribe exists in Oman in this point of Oman, and they start building cities, and they're just exploring and expanding their tribe. Note, this is not a civilization. They are not as advanced as to make a civilization just yet, but I will show when they do, and it will be in this episode, as they finally make when they look like this, they finally make their first settlement. Where's that settlement going to be? Well, you guessed it. Roughly where civilization started over. And that's something to correct. Nah, I'm not gonna change that. That's the first ever settlement in the world. They don't have major cities or smaller major cities, yes, or capitals, but they start just exploring up north, and this tribe enters into these mountainous regions of Oman, and they're sticking to the coast of it, and then they go into the UAE and going down and on Dubai. As meanwhile, another group who wants to break away from this group breaks away, and they start moving. Where did they move to? They moved to Syria, so they probably went all the way along the coast, up the Euphrates and through the desert. So Syria, the Syrian tribe is gonna look like this. That having to go up like that was an accident, but oh well. As pretty soon afterwards, they look something like this. Now the red team does not know they broke away. They know that the people are missing, but they have no clue what happened to them. They think they were murdered. As the first Syrian settlement is made right here, close to the modern day, if I get on the 2026 map, close to the modern day. Well, no, actually in Turkey and not in Syria, but this is still the Syrian tribe. As we see, this red tribe, I expand even more. One sec. I don't know, I can't remember where I stopped off. I kept talking, but yeah, then now look like this as the first civilization's going to form in this tribe, where the only settlement is, of course, and they are going to be the red team, and they are gonna look something like, no, not that, this. So they have all of this. And that is the red team. And after a couple of years, the red team makes their settlement no longer a settlement, but a smaller major city. They don't know anything about capitals as of yet. So here's the smaller major city. And it's basically acting like a capital as more and more people, mainly from this red team, explore more into the Arabian desert. I'll just exploring all of this to give more leeway for red team expansion. I'm actually gonna name the countries, but I'm not like these are just placeholder names. I'm not doing like random names that Warissa or something like that. So this is the Omani civilization. And why does that look like a zero? Oman. So Oman exists now. And if we go over to the blue team, we're going to see the blue team just form, like the first civilization. Now they are going to look smaller than the red team because they have less population than the red team. And yeah, as they for the blue team right here, they don't make it a smaller major city, but they do. But I am gonna give a name to them. I know the area over here is like Antioch, but nope, we weren't supposed to see that. But oh well. This is gonna be called the nation of Syria. So yeah, even though most of it's in Turkey, but oh well, none of it's in Anatolia. Meanwhile, we're gonna see a third tribe from along Mesopotamia, and that is going to be the Line tribe. Yes, this is the like this on a different opacity. The Line, you can get it in the Big.net base tin, but they are just going to this map and along here. Now I don't have rivers for this map because I just decided, yeah, nah, I'm gonna remove rivers for this WICSO to make it more of a like authentic WICSO, just having weird borders. As the Line team makes contact with the red team. Now the red team was going to, well, the red tribe was going to explore into these areas. So the red tribe, mainly the people from Kuwait and Qatar and this area of Saudi Arabia, invade up into Mesopotamia, making the people from Mesopotamia want to flee, which does happen as they abandon of this and migrate to roughly over, along this mountain range and just looking kind of like a Kurdish tribe, as the red team's gonna fully move into these areas and they move further in, gaining all of this. With the remainder of this tribe not abandoning it, but forming like a green-red team, if I can just... I think there's a 2-2. That's not the 2. No. I don't know what the 2 was. I'm gonna suss up what green and red mix. Okay, so the yellow tribe is going to form right here. They are very less populated. They have like no population at all, really, and they won't form civilization for a long time. The first civilization, as you know, is the red team. In history books, it's the first, and then Syria is the second. As we see that it is around this time that the chief historian wants to make an Aeterna, and he calls it well, his name was Provin, so he calls it provinces. Now, what are provinces? Well, you know what provinces are. If you don't, they're states, but they're basically administration zones. So here's the west region, here's city region, and up here will be the north region, the east region, and the west region, that's the south region. So yeah, now here as provinces is as we see them expand. Now they have a look at where their tribe is, because they want to expand into areas that the tribe already inhabits. Now this is going to be a big expansion, going up here, down this, and over to here, expanding to gain all of this. There is proposals of expanding these 5 provinces, but those are refused by the king, and instead he wants to make a new border so that he can keep up with the historical borders. Meanwhile, this king, he decides to play a new tin, and that thing is, if you recognize that I'm doing, you'll know it is ideologies. So what ideology are they? They're this color. Now what is this color? I don't think you've ever seen it in a WICSO. This ideology is an advisory monarchy. So what it does is one person from each province region comes to the capital and is a part of the king's advisory committee, but the king is still an absolute monarchy, but they decide what to do with the help of their advisors. it helps also with regional problems, e.g. differences between provinces that need to be settled by the king. So I'm probably gonna do like just that. So there's the advisory monarchy. You know what? I'm gonna stop hiding it. This world is a different world map. I made a completely new world map. Let's see what's changed. Son of North America. Most of North America is the same. There's Arizona, Victoria, Greenland, Salford, Andros, and Niagara are big. Atlantis, Platoland, Power, and Valparaiso, North Amazona, South and East Amazona. These are all just placeholder names. And then the Amazon Sea, Lake Botswana, Lake Gaza, Lake Congo. Let me name Lake Congo if I can. Yeah, is on the correct one. Up. This is Lake Congo, and this is the Amazon Sea. And then there's Cannon Island, Ati Island, and Lake Chad, Azawad Island, Elise Island, Lake Sahara. I was going to provinces. Lake Nassau, Latina Island. Well, not that. I'm just gonna call it Latin Island. The Latin Island. Hey, Italy, Lake Pannonia, Doggerland, Pict, Plusa, Slavic Sea, Lake Mongolia, Japan, Taiwan, Hainan, no Philippines, Australian Sea, and that is it. Let's get back to civilization. You ready for civilization? What's gonna happen? Well, you see the red tribe over here. They're going to expand. Where northern Oman, the modern day Muscat, they and in UAE, just everywhere except for the Oman nation. They found Bahrain. They go further in Mesopotamia, up as far as these Iranian mountains. And they're going to form a couple of civilizations. The first one being a light pink team, which is going to form in the Muscat area, the modern day Muscat area, and they are going to, well, I'm going to name it, to put a placeholder name as Muscat, and then there's going to be like a light, like Samar green nation over here in Qatar, which is going to look something like this, including Bahrain. And then the nation over in Kuwait being like a light dark blue. Going along Kuwait up to this lake and just going on till they reach here. And now let's turn off the tribal maps. And this is all the new nations, and let's give them each settlement. So these guys some of these guys get settlements before the lime and yellow tribe. Kuwait is going to be smart and settle on this island for the first settlement. And then the next one is going to be the Muscat nation, who is going to settle where Muscat is. Well, this is here. Just cause like people's already settled there, so like why not? Like just keeping a bit realism. Meanwhile, this team doesn't get to make a settlement, but the line team does. Plot in their settlement right there on the top of that northern lake. Meanwhile, the yellow team then makes a settlement and they place it here. As we see that I'm gonna make provinces for them all now. Here is all the provinces. As let's just get on with like the last couple of events. So the next event that's going to happen is some tribal expansion, as we see that the blue and the lime tribes start to meet. Well, they actually meet as the blue tribe expands to encompass out of here, and the lime tribe expands encompassing, let me turn back on, mountains, encompassing all of here. So some tribe people are in the mountains. As we then see that instead of clashing, they actually get along and they work to reorganize the tribal borders, which probably Syria may be losing, but probably the lime team losing more land than gaining it. As we see an organization form up before an alliance, what? And that organization is going to be the so-called organization. Who's it going to be between Muscat, Qatar, and Kuwait? And what's the name of this organization? It is called the Free Travel Arabia Organization, aka FTA. Most people call it the FTA. Now these are alliances, they're just different kind of government bodies, but not really. As we see that the works are actually doing good with the first trade routes being made. And where does the trade route come from? So unfortunately, it can't come from the capital city, well, the settlement here. So they start off going down along here, along the coast, and then to these unclaimed barbarian territories. As Qatar goes along this coast here, going up to meet with Kuwait. As Muscat for now is based only in the nation of Muscat. But the red team then sees that they make a trade route and they make run going up to the north. Now, you see, this has been very useful later on, where they can just like declare different trade. Like if one person destroyed the trade, maybe they might decide to join if they feel like it, but they don't have to join a war. It can just be chosen. As we're gonna see a settlement due to the new trade, a town is now a settlement. They have gotten settlement status in the world, and where is that? It is right here in this province in Qatar. Meanwhile, Muscat has going to become a smaller major city, and this area here is also going to become a smaller major city as the red team invent capitals as the birthplace of humanity is going to be the first ever capital of this world located here. So yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff happen so far, and we're gonna get to the last event, which is expansion for these guys. So these guys are all along with the FTA. They are gonna look at the tribal map and they are going to expand south. They make agreements to just divide up the Arabian soil, so the Kuwaitis can only gain all this. Like, they don't actually currently control it, but Kuwait and Muscat and Qatar, if it's a different nation that agreed to this, like one of the three, they will not contest what, and so there will be no disputes in this area. But look at this, they agreed to let Muscat claim lands where the red team was going to expand in, and Muscat, then Oman just expands this since it's not a globally recognized treaty, starting a war with Muscat. But like they just say, yeah, we're not ready for war. Yeah, but these two are now at war with one another. As red team troops agreed not to attack any of the travel routes, and they capture Muscat going along the coast, and Muscat just surrenders over to them, and they form a new nation. But Muscat, the actual Muscat nation, flees across the desert up here, and they become Stenai. So yeah, they fled from Oman to Egypt. So yeah. Meanwhile, the red team fully annexes Oman. This FTA is not a we sort of joined the war, but like they were only making ones in their country, and then the red team are closest to free travel Arabia. They then approach the FTAO and say, "Can we join?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that agrees with our economy and all." So they agree to join. But first, I need to get back. Oh wait, oh, I already did the preferences with that nation, so that's good. I thought I haven't done. Yeah, I've done that. And we're gonna end off this video with trade routes. I should probably find out what size I used. 1, 2, 3, 4. Undo. I'm adding bracket 4 to this. And trade routes will be very handy in the early episodes. But we see that they connect up these two trade routes, the Oman and Muscat trade route. And instead of going north, they go like to the coast. And they go down. And like they're really building a lot for the trade routes. And Kuwait and Oman, Kuwait and Qatar are happy because they can just focus in on connecting them up, and then they can focus in on connecting up with the red team. And the plan for the FTA has succeeded. But once Sinai finds out about this betrayal, they will be mad. And as we see, the actually last event happened was sort of happened a couple of minutes ago. We sort of seen more expansion of the blue team. Instead, we just saw the tribal expansion. But Syria is going to expand along the Anatolian coast over here and down to here. Eventually, the tribal groups will evolve into like culture and ethnicity. As we see that the red tribal group now has an offsuit, which is the Sinai tribal group. As we see that they have entered into Egypt, claiming probably this amount of land, going up into the Levant, almost meeting up with the blue team and civilization. As that is Civilization episode 1. And the thumbnail, I probably gonna remove these lines for it. So goodbye and goodbye. As I'm gonna just get up the thumbnail, which is also going to include the blue team. It's gonna include all of this. Hello again. And goodbye. Like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, which I've already recorded, releasing on Friday, alternate story of the world. And I'm announcing the title, Project Nicholas. And I may as well just show ye the thumbnail. This is going to be the thumbnail. Now, these are just temporary flags for the thumbnail. I am going to make a flag map with maybe my own custom flags. So, yeah. They say, I am finally starting like IOL. Guess in the comments who these guys are. And let's do a question of the day. Guess who this Caucasian nation is? And that is Mexico and Pause. So, yeah. That is the thumbnail of Project Icarus. What if Germany won World War One? Wait, I didn't realize why I kind of make the thumbnail in like World War One Germany flag color, but it was also kind of inspired by possible history. Normally there's orange for it. This would be it if it had that opposite side, but I want it to be different. So, yeah. Goodbye, and I'll see y'all in the next video.